Peace, love, and coconut oil family. Welcome to another short build melanated empire. You know how we do. Always trying to raise that awareness, raise that consciousness, helping us become better versions of ourselves, and also aiding us along our spiritual upliftment and our spiritual alignment, becoming better individuals. So, what I wanted to touch upon, family, right, is this sort of misinformation that we had when we sort of came into the Rastafari movement and tradition, and even some presently will still hold fast to some of the beliefs of things we used to subscribe to. I mean, but we have gone past the age of belief, and we're now in the age of information. So if we really want to hold fast to some of these things, I mean, we can't really do nothing really. You understand? So peace and love. I swear, the Empress. Peace and love, Queen Greatness, man, Sharon. I swear, the Empress. I mean, we have this WhatsApp group. The Empress is always on when we have in our Google meetings, and I didn't advertise this. I basically didn't send out any notifications. I just had a short bill I wanted to get off of my chest, and still I have two of the family with me. So peace, Queen Greatness, and peace, Heru El Ra. Peace and love to you, man. So just wanted to touch on something. I just wanted to get off of my mind and just put it on video on the channel because I have so many other short clips and videos that I wanted to do, but this one is really nagging me that I want to get out there. Okay, so it's going to be about, as you can see in the title, is ancient Ethiopia and present day Ethiopia the very same thing? Because again, when we came into the Rastafari order, when we came into the movement, we were of the perception that um Ethiopia, right, is the mother of Kemet. Even most Rastas, even right now, today, when they tell me, guys, you just on a Kemet thing and you just on a, ancient Egypt thing, but you're forgetting Ethiopia, is the mother of Kemet. And when they say this, they're really speaking about modern day Ethiopia, which we can see in this map right here. So they're speaking about this region, not understanding that this region, right, called Ethiopia presently, was referred to as Abyssinia back in the day. Now, the reason why a lot of Rastas are doing this is because they don't want to let go to that region, especially as that was the place Emperor Haile Selassie actually ruled. So they don't want to let go of that, okay, and even broaden the horizons to different perceptions, different apperceptions, and even Komoyo, which is African spiritual systems. Because the thing is, while one may see us, gravitating towards the Kemetic understanding, I mean, we're trying to just understand all of Africa and its spiritual systems because I mean, none of us can literally say, yes, actually, we came from that specific part in Africa. Yes, we were taken from West Africa, but we here in the diaspora, we are a kaleidoscope of African genome family. You understand? So we can go and latch on to any African spiritual system that we see fit. And in so doing, we have to raise our awareness. So just wanted to touch upon this. So, especially biblically, when you see it referring to, Ethiopia, especially in Genesis, most people will think it is that region, right? We've even had individuals like Diodorus Siculus saying that, there was a Western and an Eastern Ethiopia. In this document by Rukuno Rashidi, rest in peace and rest in power, honorable ancestor, he actually made mention of, you know, of ancient Ethiopia, right? So we're just going to read part of a document from him. He put a paper together, so we're going to read part of this before we actually go in to get some clarity. The Greeks and Romans called the Cushites Ethiopians. The Cushites Ethiopians. Now, the thing is, family, the word Ethiopia is sort of a derogatory term because the people from that region, remember, we're still not talking about, we haven't gone really into if it's present day Ethiopia. But I just want to say that that term Ethiopia, it's sort of a derogatory term because it means sunburned faces, like, like the sun burn us up. And the people from that region never referred to themselves as that family. That is one fundamental point. We never refer to ourselves as Ethiopians. It's always the Greeks and the Romans that call us Ethiopians. Now, specifically, it said the Greeks and Romans call the Cushites Ethiopians. So a lot of people will think and say, right? But Ethiopia is Kush, when that as well is misinformation. Because the thing is, anywhere those Greeks and Romans saw people with black skin that they say the sun burned us, but we would say that the sun kissed us, they would call that Ethiopians, right? So even some regions, even in Asia, okay, and in this valley where you would actually get that same phenotype, they would refer to these people or that area as Ethiopia or Ethiopians as well. So I don't want us to get it mixed up. Okay, so let's go on to read. It said the Greeks and Romans called the Cushites Ethiopians and were at least somewhat cognizant of their vast domains. Early observers, such as Ephorus, expressly stated that the Ethiopians occupied all the southern coast of both Asia and Africa. Homer described the Ethiopians as divided and dwelling at the ends of the earth towards the setting and the rising sun. Strabo adds that Greeks designated the whole southern countries towards the ocean on the coast of both Asia and Africa as Ethiopia. Right? According to John D. Baldwin, author of Prehistoric Nations and one of the leading exponents of an early diffusion of Ethiopians and Cushites. It is now admitted that a people of the Cushite or Ethiopian race, sometimes called Hamites, again the Hamitic hypothesis, we may go into that into another video, were the first civilizers and builders throughout Western Asia, and they are traced by the remains of their language, their architecture, and the influence of their civilization on both shores of the Mediterranean, in Eastern Africa and the Nile Valley, in Hindustan, and in the islands of the Indian Seas. Now, got some pictures right here for the family. When most people are speaking about Indus Valley Kush, okay, they are speaking about this region. The Indus Valley region would get near the Ganges River and next to Hindu Kush. Again, don't let the word Kush kind of try to confuse your family. The Hindu Kush is actually just a region which is near to the Himalayas. It really has nothing to do with the people per se. Okay, I want the family to get that completely, want the family to overs that completely, family. So what I want to do with the family is go to timemaps.com. I actually came across this website when tuning into one of the Dagger Squad University lives with Brother Garfield, who actually touched upon this, and it's basically a website which gives you different maps within a time frame, as we can see, starting from 3900 BC before. Right now we are at 3500 BC. So according to the map, we can see Egypt, Hamitic-Semite farmers, Nilo-Saharan cattle herders, and Cushites, hunter-gatherers. Okay, so let's just go to 2500 BCE. Let's just see what this is going to show us. 2500 BCE. So we see Egypt and we see Cushites. Now, that region, if the family doesn't know, is actually what we refer to as Sudan, family, and not present day Ethiopia, which in the ancient time would be considered as Abyssinia. Okay, we continuing, we're continuing because I want the family to see the development of the areas and the names, right, in that time. So here we at 1500 BCE. We have Egypt, okay, Nilo-Saharan, remember this was around here, and the Cushites. 1000 BCE. Egypt is starting to come down, its borders starting to come down the Nile, really starting to extend its borders. 500 BCE. We have Egypt and we have Nubia. You see what I'm saying? So the ancient Ethiopia family, remember, in the article it says that the Greeks and the Romans called the Cushites Ethiopians. And the Cushites would also be called Nubians as well, family, because it's the very same region. Now, some people may say, guys, you know what? It's actually the Western scholars and these European scholars that are trying to divide the place. We never had these borders, which is why when black scholars are teaching, they would usually say Nile Valley civilization to just try and cancel out all the borders. But sometimes we need to take the borders into consideration. And that is because at times in history, you would see the Egyptians going against the Cushites or the Nubians. And there are reasons to this, which we can get into as well. Okay, let's go back to the map. So in 500 BC, we can see Nubia, right? And Egypt. So if ever Egypt or ancient Kemet, however you want to refer to it as, had to have a mother, it would have to be ancient Nubia or ancient Kush family. Kush, Cash, remember biblically that they try to relate to being Ham, the Hamites. Okay, and let's go to 200 BC. Pardon if the family is hearing that sound, it's just a plane landing. We actually live near the airport, right? So Egypt, Nubia, we are 200 BC, Arabia, hmm? And we can see the Arabian Empire slowly coming into the Horn of Africa. This will actually be the Sabian culture or the Sabian kingdom. Okay, let's go to 30 BC. We have Egypt, which is now part of the Roman Empire. Hmm? Nubia again, Arabia, we can see Judea taking root, Arabia still coming into the Horn of Africa. Want the family to see something. Just bear with me, family. Just bear with us. It is only at 200, the Common Era or ACE, after the Common Era, family, that we see any first trace of a place called Ethiopia. So we just came from 3500 BC. So that alone should show us. Let me just see if everything is okay running on StreamYard. I'm literally in Little Ethiopia. Big up yourself here, man. Big up yourself, bro. Don't know where you would be referred to as Little Ethiopia. Probably you can clarify that in the comments for us, but give thanks, right? So even from 200, okay, after the Common Era family, we see any trace of Ethiopia. You want us to go back? Let us go back. Just one. 300. You see, no Ethiopia family. No Ethiopia whatsoever. Then, when we go to 200 CE, we actually see a place being called Ethiopia being developed. This is very fundamental, family. So we need to stop with the misinformation that's saying, oh, you know, Ethiopia is the mother of ancient Egypt, okay, of Kemet, thinking that it is present day Ethiopia. Okay, we need to really stop that, family. We need to stop that. However, those people that call themselves Kushites were actually part of modern day Ethiopia that we know today. It is also fundamental to say that ancient Kushites did practice the very same culture as ancient Egypt. So if people don't want to say, okay, because most people see Egypt presently, according to modern day scholarship, as a melting pot, seeing that we were just on the border of Arabia. So a lot of tribes and people were actually coming in and becoming part of the nation, right? Which is why you will see, sometimes black people on the throne, sometimes mixed people, and during the colonialization period, we can see Persians, Greeks, and even the Romans even coming and being part of that Egypt as we know it today, family. Okay, right now, I mean, we have the Islamic people, we have the Arabs that try and say they are the originators and it was their ancestors. But if it was your ancestors, you wouldn't be trying to make just money off of the tombs and degrading the tombs and digging up our ancient ancestors. If it was black people or Africans in charge of that place today, I think we would have been giving that place more of a, having that place in high esteem, in high regard, and even trying to rejuvenate some of the ancient sites. But these people are just coming just to make, just to make that little paper and the money, family, and desecrating our ancient ancestors. Okay, if we are to move on to 500 after the Christian era, we will see Ethiopia even opening its borders. Okay, and look, Cushites. See, let's go one step further again. Boom. Egypt, Nubia, Ethiopia, Cushites. But this, we're talking about 750 after the Christian era. This is after Izana actually conquered Aksum, okay, and laid waste to Meroe. So just wanted to give this quick bill, family, just for us to do away with the misinformation in regards to present day Ethiopia being ancient Ethiopia and being the mother of ancient Kemet. And it was just a short bill. I mean, give thanks for the family who was here with us. Let me see if I left out anything. Really? No, we touched upon the article. article we touched upon. Yeah, and while it did say in the article that they referred to Western Asia, and to make sure I touch on everything, because when I do that video, I don't want to go back on that topic at all. Okay, give me a second, family. Eastern Romans as the main space that Ethiopia occupied, and both Asia and Africa. Okay, so when they're talking about Asia, I mean Western Asia, it would be actually Arabia and these places, family, Iran and these places there, not Indus Valley's Kush. We can see that is right next to the Indian Ocean and the Arabian Sea. That is way off. That region that we're speaking about. Let me see if I get another map here. Asia, Western Asia, that region that we're speaking about is all over here, family. I'm not denying the fact that they were actually people of the phenotype of what we would call Africans or dark phenotype. Because remember, anyone who was black to the Greeks and the Romans, they call them Ethiopians. So anywhere these people dwell would be called Ethiopia. So this is why again they would say that there is two sets of Ethiopia, one to the rising sun and one to the setting sun. So we cannot continue to latch onto that misinformation just to give present day Ethiopia, which is Abyssinia, some relevance in regards to establishing ancient Egypt as we know it today. And it was just a short bill. It was just a short bill, family. And I give thanks for those who are even present with us. Remember to subscribe, Melanated Empire. You know how we do. Subscribers are growing, and it's been a while. I've just been myself on the platform to give a short bill, right? Um, there is another video I want to touch upon that I came across in regards to religious indoctrination, and I think it's taking place in Africa. So, to give these two bills quickly, to just get them out of the way, so we could move on to possibly going into further explaining ancient Kemetic deities, and even we're going to have some more bills with the Rastas on this platform. Melanated Empire, peace, love, and coconut oil family. Subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Later on, obviously, we're gonna have our Google Meetings meet off of our WhatsApp platform that we still build on even while we're not on here. So peace and love to the family. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. Hopefully, you're gonna see some ridiculous religious shit that still go on in a day like today. Okay? Peace, love, and coconut, all family.